today we are here to have a brief discussion about like software testing, what is basically a software testing and the different types of mobile application testing. Okay, before coming to what are the different types of testing, we'll see like what is a software testing basically. What is software testing is basically means it's a process of finding an error or finding the bugs. You can say errors is nothing but bugs in an application so that the application reaches the end users efficiently. We end users are the one who gives like requirement for that, who uses the our product. They will be having some requirement. We have to reach their requirements, right? So in reaching those requirements, we'll get some error. Suppose like login is not working or some buttons are not working. Those are registered as bugs. So this process is called as software testing. So coming to like what is software testing here, the proper definition it is the method of checking whether the actual software and the product matches their expected requirements to ensure the bug-free delivery. Okay, so that our product is bug free or defect free it is. Actual software and the will matches are the product requirements. And what is the purpose of testing is identify the errors or gaps or the missing requirements to reaches the actual requirement. So this is the reason why we'll do software testing. So what the product which we get at the end won't be so efficient to use. So like to identify before it reaches the end user, we need to make sure that our product is working fine. Like different levels of testing we'll see in the further. Okay. So these are the types of software testing. There are like functional testing, non-functional testing, and maintenance testing. Okay, so let's see one by one what is functional testing and non-functional testing. So functional testing, these are the, you can see the screen, right? These are the few functional testings and non-functional testings and maintenance testing. Functional testing includes like unit testing, regression, smoke, like user acceptance testing, localization, globalization. Okay, we'll see in detail one by one in the later. And non-functional like performance testing, endurance testing, load, volume, scalability, usability, all this are comes under non-functional testing. Okay, we are saying like functional testing, non-functional testing, right? So what is functional testing basically? So which validates the system requirements against providing the appropriate, improper, appropriate input and checking verifying the output. So this is the functional testing. And coming to what is non-functional testing, like you can see the tests here right here, performance and usability, like how it is usable it is, that all comes under the non-performance testing. And like regression maintenance testing is all we know, right? We have did regression testing, right? Like regression testing we'll discuss at the last. So let's go to our first functional testing. So first comes the usability testing. So what is basically an usability testing? So this test involves the user to reach their goals, and what is the goal is like to perform this specific task and how long it takes to respond. Okay, that is usability testing. Will perform a task, like user will do click on something and how much time it takes to specify or completion of that task is called as usability testing. How to do the usability testing? Here are the few steps, like how can you do the usability testing. Like you can see like usable in the let's take example of our learner app. In learner app we can see some menus, right? So like usability testing is like how usable it is for the user. So like navigation bar will be there on top, like location is there. Okay, how useful effectively we can use it, that's how like usability testing is. Like important feature is like user has to achieve that in one or the two clicks. It's like one click and two clicks, within the two clicks it should perform its task. That is how usability testing is done. And like suppose we are in the 10th page and it should go back to the previous page within one or two clicks. Okay, like how usable, no, not much functionality is tested here, just like usable, how usable app is or this thing is. Here, what and all will test is like fields will test like test area, button, drop down, links, pop ups, all these things will test it here in the usability testing. So, next comes is performance testing. So, next comes is performance testing. So, what is basically performance testing is tested for? So, it is used to determine the speed, responsiveness, and stability of the app. It has various different testing under it, like load testing is there, stress testing is there. As you can see on the screen, what is basically a load testing is? Load testing is like how many number of users our application can handle it. Okay, during the real life scenario in conditions, like many users will be using our app at the same time, right? So, likewise, how many users it can handle. So that's how we'll test it, the load testing. And coming to the stress testing is during the peak movement. During the peak movement, like how stable is our application? Okay, this is how we test the our stress testing. So, like, why we need the stress testing and what is the break point of an application? So, like, how long this system is stable to under the heavy loads and its response time for the failure. During the response of heavy loads, like everybody is using, okay, and due to this, that how much load and how much stress it can handle. That is what is tested in stress testing and application behavior and which is pushed beyond the design. Suppose we have designed our application to use it for the 1,000 members or 2,000 members. Okay, when it reaches the peak movement, like so many members have logged in at the same time, and like how much stress it can handle. That is how we test stress testing. Coming to the spike testing, this is used to check the performance or the behavior when sudden increase of the number of users. Example, you can see like during online applications are going on, like CET or PGCET. Like every as the notification releases, many users start using, and what will be getting that server is slow. When we visit the cyber center, when we are trying to fill the application, what will get servers is busy or server is slow will get. So that's how like we'll measure the spike testing when sudden increase of number of users. Okay, and volume testing is nothing but when the large number of data is in our database. We have a Excel sheet format load up, right? Like we feel like our database is full of data. How much data it can tolerate? What is the maximum limit of the data it can be tolerated in the database? That's how we do it, the volume testing. So here is the testing, performance testing process, like identify the test environment, determine the performance test, plan and design, implement design, run test, and analyze, fine tuning, and retest. So this is how we plan it, how to do the performance testing. Next comes the our security testing. Security testing is like authenticating, like who you are and what you can do. Okay, this all comes under security testing. You can take the example like suppose the live views. Okay, live views here. Suppose you have logged in as a super user, like who you are. You are a super user now. What and all functionality you can perform. So those comes under like super user should not perform the jobs of supreme user or the admin. So they have a specific rules which they have need to perform it. There are different types of security testing here. Vulnerability scanning and penetration testing, security scanning and security auditing. This is how you do security testing. And they said like requires this some tools. Suppose without registering to the learner app. Okay, directly can we go to some other pages like live views instead of giving the play.learner app slash live views. Can we just do it? Yes, we can do it. Okay, this is how like security is tested. We as a developer will give like slash some page name. Okay, let me assets or some admissions, some fee master. Okay, likewise without registering. Can we just log into those pages? Yes, we can log in. This should not be done. this is which breaching our security testing. Okay, and next comes the installation testing. So installation, how we check the installation testing is like when we try to install apps or uninstall apps, it's updating properly or not without any interruption and as works expected after installation. This is how we check the installation testing. Next comes the localization testing. And which are the important areas here is like we check the proper time zone and time format is there or not, or local currency, text user interface, and so on. Okay, right now in Learner app we have like time format, date and date format, time format. Whether it reaches, it's in proper or not, we can check through this.